It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Here we are with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K.
The John Hancock Tower rising above the bustling city of Boston and its tree-lined streets. The week is starting off right. Monday night, and 2K Sports presents the NBA with Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And we have a surprise guest, folks. Here he is, the four-time All-NBA first-teamer, MVP. So off the tip, it's Boston. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court right now for the Spurs, Parker and Green are the guard set. Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard, the two stars at the forward spots. And it's Gasol, and at the pivot spot, manning the middle. 4 on the clock, Irving. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Irving's got the first points up on the board for Boston. And Kevin, there was such a whirlwind around your trade to the Celtics from the Timberwolves. What were your thoughts and emotions at that time?
You know what? Being in Minnesota at that time, it was very difficult for me. I didn't necessarily want to leave. I had a goal to bring the city a championship, and I felt like I could do that. Nothing worse than when you have to deal with the reality of change. I'm not the one for change, even though I do know in order to process or progress better, you have to embrace some change. So with the help of my friends from Chauncey Billups, Teron Lue, I sat and I thought through it with those guys who have been through the trade process and talking to me and getting me to understand my options. And once I understood all my options, then I just it was about what was best for me and my family.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to consider.
Well, the bounce pass is the ticket there. Very nice assist.
And here's Boston. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
Well, also great execution. Let's not forget about that. Being active gets you only so far if you lack the discipline.
And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's his first foul. Here's Irving. He's coming off a 31-point game against Miami.
And what opened things up for him was his passing. He was making so many plays that the D had to play off him.
Leonard with the ball. And it's Horford picking him up. And it's Leonard missing. The Celtics have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
Oh, man. I remember that. It was
17 years old.
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft. You know, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You know, you're trying to get ready for the combine. You're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me. On top of still going to high school, trying to, you know, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and ones around you. And when my name was called, it felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very slow.
Here's the 3. Boston, no good that time either. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
You know, Kev, I can tell right away that we had something special getting together right in September, right before the year started. We started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I could tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. It's very rare that you're able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, you know, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, you know, around each other, understanding each other, you know, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
To bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, you know, none of us spoke Italian. You know, if we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep. And No one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other. So much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. Doc was letting us be who we want to be, and he letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top aggressive, and to the point where it's too competitive to where he has to come in and separate us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here, to the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. He started trusting out IQs. Now we start putting a couple of things on defense. Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. When this flow is going like this, you don't know that you're going to win it all, but you know you're on the waves of something special, and that's how that felt.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Tatum comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Rozier in for Irving. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Rudy Gay's checked in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. The Spurs have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line. And KG, talk about how the greats can just impose their will.
It's almost like another level. Yeah. When you see LeBron, what he did to Detroit in that fourth quarter, that's a blackout. You don't know what you're doing. When you see Kobe go for 81, when you see Chauncey come down on a 1, these players are blacking out. These are elite players in elite moments, taking the moment. Paul Pierce is one of the best that I've ever seen grab a moment and savor it and just put it in slow-mo. And nothing speeding them up.
Special players.
Special players. But I get a front row seat of seeing them. Ray Allen, the same thing. Had a great composure about himself to slow himself down and hit pressure shots. Tim Duncan, same thing.
Shots good by Laverne.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Celtics trail by 3. Here's Rozier, picked by Horford. It's Allen on the wing. Wide open look. Kept alive by Boston. From 13 feet, it goes down.
You can't forget about Horford. I mean, carving out space inside for the putback.
Anderson with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. Here's Allen. Again, Allen missing. The Spurs have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. And Mills kicks to Anderson. Taken away. Unhindered, going all the way.
Oh, you gotta love Rozier. Skying up for the dunk. Really seizing the opportunity and capitalizing with his tremendous leap.
Here's Ginobili. Great D on that shot, and it's off the mark. That shot off. And so, both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Celtics lead by 1. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about
we expect so much out of each other every single.
Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media, but also, perhaps the most demanding of all, are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh, yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another. another. And I got to tell you, it's fun to watch.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Well, that's what happens when you're aggressive on that end of the floor. They took a few chances and took control of the game.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. We've got Rudy Gay. Laverne is out there with Anderson. Then there's Murray. And it's Mills in at the 1. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times where you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. And so it's Boston with it. Here's Rozier, covered by Mills. And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's his first foul. San Antonio making a switch here. Bertson has checked in. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Kevin, when you played, we all know how intense you were, how much you cared. That, to me, was the thing that you cared so much about the product, about your team, about the game. But some people have said that maybe there was a streak of you that was mean is maybe not the right word, but you were overly aggressive. But I don't know how you could have played any differently than that.
I call it dialed in.
What?
You know, I like to think that if you're trying to accomplish something, then, you know, I only know one way to accomplish something. You go at it with everything you have.
Yes.
You go to dominate it and take it over. You don't go at something lightly.
Can't walk through the park with this game,
not at all. Not at all. And this game is full of talented elites. Night in, night out, you're playing someone that can typically go for 50 easy.
So true. Kevin, especially back in Minnesota, you have some Hall of Fame battles with a guy named Tim Duncan. Talk about what those games, what those matchups were like.
Timmy, man. Timmy's very crafty, man. Our battles used to just, especially as young guys, man. Young guys trying to establish themselves in a gritty league at the time, full of some older, dominant names at the time. Michael Jordan, Olajuwon, Malone. You know, the time where the forward position was a very, very tough position. But Timmy was one of them ones, man. Used angles very well. Was very long. Had a lot of counters, very strong, and had an inner beast that people really didn't really talk about because you didn't really necessarily hear or see it. But man, Timmy's one of the best, man. It's not by coincidence. He's one of the ones.
5 to shoot. Here's Aldridge, and Aldridge slams it in.
Fruitful possession, just doing what they can to extend the lead.
That's what you have to do. Stay in the moment. Keep grinding.
Kevin, we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your prime? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach who was just kind of settled on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. You know, I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you and practice, and then during the games, you know, it's about the product and what you put out on the floor. Yes. You know, coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, understand that it's a game of runs, know that it's a game of momentum, and has plays for those momentums and those times. Or coaches that I've always gravitated to and understood that
like Doc was kind of in between, a little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was on fire. I'm sorry. There was nothing calming about Doc.
I'm trying to cover Doc's back here.
No, shout to Doc. Doc would rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You needed to play with that edge. You needed to know that if you wasn't in your spot, 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there, and it's good to play with that. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, this is no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play, absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance, and, knowing that you're playing for the next guy. So, that's important.
In the corner, it's Hayward. No good from outside.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Ginobili dishes to Parker. Spurs working the ball around now. Gasol inside, misses the layup.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there. And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Great to have you with us, KG, and enlightening experience. Come back and join us sometime, okay?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it anytime.
You were terrific. You were terrific. You were great.
K-Hall, you always made me look good, man, since 95, man. We've been doing this a long time, my dude.
Great to see you.
Thank you, dog.
What a treat it is, Greg, to have KG with us. Always offers so much insight. Played the game for an amazing 21 seasons.
Yeah, you know, when he first entered the league, everybody was wowed by the athleticism. But what became more apparent really early on were the instincts for which he had for the game. And that's what he brings, I feel like, to the broadcast.
Here's Irving. Money from the wing. Irving's got 6 points.
Oh, that's just impeccable shooting from Irving. The D can get in his jersey all they want. It doesn't affect him one bit.
In the corner, it's Hayward. Tatum wide open. He fires one. Hits it from three-point range.
And Tatum's become a reliable outside shooter. Has a good-looking stroke from deep.
There's Tennis, the pass to Ginobili. Gasol's in the post. Off on the layup. Celtics trail by 6. Allen inside. He's covered by Ginobili. Yep, it counts. 8 points for Kyrie Irving.
Did you see that? How committed Irving is. Once he's in the paint, he's looking to score.
And it's Leonard missing. Allen right side over Ginobili. Allen's shot is off. Bergenis. The shot no good. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Spurs out in front. They're up by. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points. They found their rhythm in the second quarter and have to be feeling good here at the break, holding on to that 4-point lead. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio? Well, and now, folks.
Welcome back, everyone. There's State Station. That's where you get off the And Chris, you've been working as an analyst now for quite some time. Do you feel that how you view and enjoy the game has changed as you've transitioned from being a player on the floor to the booth?
You know what? I've learned a lot, and I've learned to look at the game a different way, but I look at the game the same way. I think the onus is on the player to execute what the coach and the GM puts out there for you to do, for you not to become a one-dimensional player, for you to improve in the summertime. That's the only time you can improve. And when you don't come back and you don't improve, it's obvious that you have the same glaring weaknesses that you had the year before. Even if you're not on the team that can compete for a championship, you want to make sure that you compete for a championship, that you compete for an all-star, that you compete to have your name out there. And so a lot of times we'll watch some of those teams, and I love seeing if they compete or if they laid it down early in the season. So, no, I would say that really what gives me an advantage is that the way that I looked at the game, and hopefully, you know, that gives me a unique perspective when I'm out there trying to talk to other basketball heads like myself.
They've got Horford. Smart is out there with Irving, and it's Hayward. That's the Boston 5. And Aldridge comes over to help. Horford has a wide open look. That 3 off the mark. San Antonio leading by 6. Here's Aldridge. Drops in the layup for 2. Aldridge has got 13 points.
And now this game is becoming a showcase for Aldridge. He's been out of control, a one-man team. Now it's just a matter of getting him the ball and getting out of his way.
And it's sent back by Irving. And the call will be against Tony Parker. And that'll be his third foul so far. Marcus Morris is checked in for Boston. Brown comes in for Gordon Hayward. Then for the Spurs, Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker.
Third straight miss to start the half. But it's still early. No need to panic.
Stolen by Smart. Pass to Irving. Smart with the ball. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Picked by Horford. Brown wide open. He fired. Buries the long-range jumper.
Oh, you love to see Brown knock down the three ball, showing great strides in improving his range.
And at 6'4", 220, Marcus Smart with terrific strength for a combo guard, Greg.
I mean, he can just flat out bully most guards and even hold his own against the bigs. Beyond, though, that physical stature, it's his mentality that makes him special. He's a fire breather, just the type of player the Celtics look for.
Here's Mills. Keeps it alive. And Gabe with the second chance points. He has 5.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up. Horford sets a screen for Smart. A three-pointer off the mark. Spurs leading by 5. Here's Aldridge, and the dunk by Aldridge.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
And the dunk by Aldridge.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Smart puts the pick in for Irving. Third quarter action in just under 3.5 minutes have gone. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Horford.
Excellent job by Horford to shoot that as soon as he caught it. Just outstanding and giving the D no time to react.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Tatum, he's checked in for Brown. Allen comes in for Marcus Smart. And it's Rozier in for Kyrie Irving. The Spurs also changing it up. Anderson, he's checked in for Laverne. Ginobili comes in for Green. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Patty Mills. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And the Celtics with possession here. Trailing here by 8. Stolen by Anderson.
He leaped into the lane as soon as that ball was thrown and came up with the steal. Excellent work on D there.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
The Celtics have gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Rozier kicks to Tatum. Watching Jason Tatum, it's hard to find many faults in his game, Greg. He's strong inside and out and plays both ends of the floor equally well.
Yeah, kind of a jack of all trades, right, and master of none. He does everything reasonably well on the basketball floor, just doesn't do anything great. Having said that, though, Tatum is one of those guys that I think improves the overall IQ of your team and terrific size at his position. Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
The 11-footer and too long on the shot.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And it's Murray, that time on the assist by Rudy Gay. Murray's got his first basket of the night.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Outside Irving. Looking to get back on track here. Here's Horford, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And so it's San Antonio. 13 points up at the end of the period. They've kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
We can't forget about the boards. The if we don't go to bodies, they're going to be at the rim all night.
And pretty unsurprising there, Greg Popovich reminding his guys to block out, play fundamental basketball.
Yeah, I mean, you work so hard at everything else. You have to finish the defense. It would be a crime to give up those extra possessions.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. On the floor for San Antonio, starting the fourth quarter. Manu is at the 2 with Leonard playing the 3. Anderson is out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Parker in at the point guard. Here's the screen. Allen with it. He's picked up by Parker. Shot clock at 6. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Here's Irving. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his 5th foul.
Tough call there, but you have to be smart there. I mean, he now has 5 in this game.
San Antonio on defense. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 15 points.
He is really deadly from the perimeter. Even though he didn't make one in the first quarter, you still have to keep an eye on him.
That's tipped. Passes to Hayward. 3-pointer. The rebound by the Spurs. Gasol's got 4 rebounds in this game.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And, of course, NBA players have all reached this pinnacle through dedication, through very hard work. Chris, can you talk about the hard work and effort that goes into playing and succeeding at this NBA level?
Well, if you're in high school or middle school, when your friends are at the movies, you're on the basketball court. When your friends are hanging out at a party, you're at the basketball court. When your friends and his family are on vacation, you're at the basketball court. I don't think many people understand the dedication. You know, for many guys, it's more than 4 hours a day in the gym. And a lot of that is just sitting in the gym, just smelling the gym. You know, of course you're going to work out, of course you're going to shoot, but it's everything basketball. You know, on my wall, I had Dominique, Magic, Bird. I had all these guys, Isaiah, cut out magazines, and I would put their pictures on my wall and work out and do push-ups looking at them. And I would know their moves. I would know everything. You know, I remember Kenny Smith, after his dunk contest, he stood at the free throw line and threw the ball between his legs, threw it off the backboard and dunked. I went in the backyard in Detroit, shoveled the snow, and we worked on that dunk all night, freezing. I mean, you have to love it. So, you know, when you love something, my father taught me it's not work. And so you got to start with the love, and then all the other work and dedication is just part of the journey.
I love the message, but boy, I like that Kenny Smith story. That is a great, great story. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens had to say to his team. And he was emphatic. He said, we are not going to win this game playing this way, fellas. You've got to step it up. You've got to get aggressive. And you've got to battle to get back in this thing. Let's see if that pep talk got him going, guys.
Thanks so much, David. San Antonio making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Back to Irving. Clock at 6. Boston, no good that time either.
Yeah, it's been about the rebounding. Really, that's the dividing line in this game.
Here's Leonard, and then Leonard with the dunk.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Irving kicks to Horford. And the foul called on Pau Gasol. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Bertans. Outside Irving. A rebound by the Spurs. Leonard's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Left side Irving. Gasol with the steal. To the paint. And Aldridge the basket on the assist by Green. Green's got 3 assists now in this one.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
Yeah, they've come out of the break with an eye toward efficiency. One of the advantages they hold in this game.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, that's because they made a concerted effort to get the shooters involved. Now they've built up the confidence.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
Celtics trail by 18. Irving dishes to Smart. To the paint, Tice. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding the open man.
Green, the pass to Gasol.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for San Antonio.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for LaMarcus Aldridge.
He was too much for them to deal with tonight, plain and simple. They tried all sorts of ways to contain him, and nothing worked.
And you look back to that Big 3 era in Boston, you know, the Celtics have not been shy about aggressively trading to reshape this roster. You know, they've made a rapid rebuild that's really the envy of a lot of teams around our league. And I'd say that's it, guys. They're not coming back in this one.
Well, it certainly appears that way. This one looks done.
Now, here is Irving, covered by Mills. And again, Boston with the triple. And as aggressive as the Celtics have been, Greg, they've also shown patience, haven't they?
Yeah, and in some ways, maybe a victim of their own success. You come out on the winning end of your trades time and again. Other GMs don't want to look bad. They get hesitant, possibly, and don't want to add their name to that list.
Here's Smart on the wing, Irving. It's stolen by Green. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rozier kicks to Morris. Feeds to Baines. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Oh, yeah, this is a nice run here, but too little too late. And deep down, I think they know it.
To the wing on the left, here's Anderson. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Spurs lead by 14.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't care how good you are. It's tough to succeed in a hostile environment. They're doing it in style.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. So long and...
Right, I'm relentless. I know what well I was never really gonna win the lottery, so it's up to me to draw with this pen and artery. This Puerto Rican through the speakers, and if he can be the shining beacon, this side of the GWB and shine a light when it's gray out. I wrote my way out. Oh, I was born in the eye of the storm. No.